What's up guys, this is Coach Donny with ElevateYourself.org. Welcome to my reaction video to Season 1, Episode 5. I've been having so much fun doing these reaction videos and interacting with you guys that I plan on doing all the seasons. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and click on that notification bell so you never miss a video, especially my next Haikyuu reaction video. Also, if you've been enjoying my volleyball and training content from this YouTube channel, then please consider joining my Patreon linked below so I can continue making better and higher quality content for you guys. The first 50 members will be entered in a free t-shirt and Elevate lanyard giveaway. I'll be recognizing the newest Patreon members at the end of this video. Thank you all for being so understanding when I had to re-edit and re-upload my last reaction video 4 times. I really do have the best fans on YouTube. I'm happy that you guys are enjoying not just my analysis of volleyball technique, but also my personal volleyball and life stories. I think that's also what makes this anime great, because it includes so many themes that we can all relate to. Many of you were entertained by my disdain for Tsuki, but I'm actually looking forward to see how his character evolves. But for now, I still don't like him. Another fun fact I learned is that he means sun, while Tsuki means moon, which is a pretty cool contrast. It's incredible to observe how many layers there are to this anime, especially when I compare it to an American cartoon like SpongeBob SquarePants, which I still have no idea what that's about. Now it's time to watch some Haikyuu. And look at that glare on the sweat drops. More dreaming. This guy has tons of dreams. Ball blocker. Spike. Beautiful. I guess that wasn't a dream. I'll comment on that. So if you guys remember from my last reaction video, I talked a lot about working hard for your teammates and how it ends up becoming a ping pong effect. So that's the power of not only believing in your teammates, but working hard not just for yourself, but doing it in a way where it inspires other people. I think that's what he's talking about, is that he's bringing it out of him. And that's the beauty of team sports, is that you can't just take the 6 best players and expect to do well. It's a synergistic effect where you're actually learning to work hard for each other, and then you end up getting what I call the 7th man on the court. So even though there are only 6 players, but when a team truly works together and inspires each other, you get this extra player on the court that's just working hard for you, and everyone has this common spirit of competitiveness. A coward's anxiety. Here's a flashback to my old animation days. So when I was studying animation illustration, it was such a rewarding but grueling process, because so in animation there's 24 frames per second. That means every second you have to make 24 drawings to properly animate movement. So whenever we got these scenes where they're just still images, like this one where he's thinking to himself, it's probably a full 3 seconds, and the rest of us would be so grateful for, like, oh, maybe we can put in more of these thinking scenes where they're not moving and they're just talking over it. Kind of reminds me of that. And I wonder if the animators are thinking the same thing. You know, after looking at Daichi that moment, I wonder why he created the teams like this. Because Suki's a first year, so he put him on his team, and then he put Hinata and Kageyama and then Tanaka on the same team. I wonder if it's because he saw the potential between how great the connection could be between Hinata and Kageyama, and he probably knew that they were going to butt heads, and the earlier you deal with your problems, the better off you're going to be. Oftentimes we wait to deal with relationship problems, volleyball problems where we don't want to work on the things we're not good at. And the earlier you just confront the things that need to be better, your life is just going to be so much easier, and you're going to be so much better off in volleyball and in life. I think that was only the second set, and they're wasted.
あいつらにあんな攻撃使えるって見抜いてあんなこと言ったんすかマジパネっすコンビネーションが使えたらカラスノは爆発的に進化するなんかうまいこと使ってやれんじゃないのそんなわけあるか俺はもっと日向が打ちやすいトスあげたれよって意味で言ったんだよ俺は影山の多少無茶なトスにも日向なら合わせられるようになるかなって思ってた
So he did have a small hunch as to putting them together. That's a great...
Tsuki. 僕ら庶民が勝てなくても何も不思議じゃないですよ。
その割にはさ、ちゃんと本気だったじゃん。おい。
Yep. He's too cool to admit that it was a tough game. He's got that facade. Can't wait to see what's under that facade. Here's just an odd detail. I don't know why I noticed all these little things. In Asian culture, when you hand things, especially to an authority figure or someone who's older, you usually hand it with two hands. Like you ever go to an Asian restaurant, when they give you your change or your receipt, they usually hand it to you with two hands. So I wonder, I know that Hinata is handing it with two hands. That's pretty normal, that's formal, that's good manners. I wonder why Kageyama is handing it with one hand. I wonder if that has anything to do with his personality. Uniforms. The most exciting. Oh, that's an awesome shot from the box up. Staying after practice to practice more. Siejo? Yes. So this is something that I noticed with the teams that I coach, and obviously even the adult players that I've played against or play with. Whenever there's a really, really good opponent, even if they're better than you, this is how you know the true competitors versus the hobby players. Because what's powerful about great competition and why it's such a life-giving and life-changing experience is that it brings out the best version of yourself on the court. I think that's why we really enjoy competing. Whereas those that treat volleyball mainly as a hobby, when they see a better team or a really good team, they think, oh no, that means I'm not going to play that well, or that means I might lose. So if you catch yourself thinking that, try to view of playing amazing opponents as an opportunity to test your skills against the best, to see what you're made of, and just know that you're going to get better simply by playing against better better competition.
先生知らない今年からバレー部顧問の武田
A
一です
supervising teacher. Looks like a student.
バレーの経験はないから技術的な指導はできないけど土下座得意だけどしてないよ今回はただ
I'm good at begging.
条件
影山くんをセッターとしてフルで出すこと
Ah,
なんすかそれ。カラスの自体は興味はないけど、影山だけはとりあえず警戒しときたいってことっすか。
scouting him early.
ペロペロっすか。
いやそういうわけじゃなくて
いいじゃないか
Man, that sucks for the other setter. He must not feel very good about himself.
カラスのセッター、菅さんじゃないっすか。
俺は
But if he's a true team player, he's gonna let it
日
happen.
向と影山のあの攻撃が4強相手にどのくらい通用するのか見てみたい
Those are two very mature leaders.
先生詳細お願いします
日程は急なんだけど来週の火曜放課後の短い時間だから1ゲームだけ学校のバス
試合カラスのに来て最初の正式な人
That's right, he's never played with a real team. He's only played with his friends.
お疲れした菅原さん
Come on, ask him for your help. Be a good underclassman and absorb the knowledge.
的にスタメンですけど次はちゃんと実力でレギュラー取ります
That's a good attitude.
いや影山は俺なんか眼中にないと思ってたから意外で
なんでですか
体力も実力も断然お前の方が上だろ
経験の差はそう簡単に埋まるもんじゃないですそれと
Kageyama understands. I kind of giggle every time I see the word suga because in the USA, in urban slang, it's pronounced sugar. It's like an endearing term for your girlfriend or someone that you like. We call them. It's short for sugar. So every time I see them call Sugawara Suga, I think of them as calling him their baby sugar.
他のメンバーからの信頼と
Trust is hard to earn.
中学のあの試合本人的に相当答えてんだな
なので俺負けません
俺も負けない
菅さん、大地さんが肉まんおごってくれるって。
でもさ影山
Meat buns.
北川大地の選手も大部分が進む高校だよな
まあそうっすね
影山の元チームメイトがいる高校
Ooh, that'd be exciting.
やりづらくないかとは思って
Former teammates. I love that. I love playing against my friends.
戦うならただ全力でやるだけです
そうかそうだな
でもいいんすか、
Because that makes me work harder. I want to beat my friends.
納得いかないっつうか。
そりゃ悔しいけどでも影山が中学のと
バレー部なんだ
Yeah, now you feel like part of a team. That's a special experience.
カレーマンないっすか
晩飯ちゃんと食えよ。おーい、お前らも食えよ。
あざーす同じチームなんだ
Let's see if Suki accepts the bun and enjoys it. Or is he too cool for that too?
騒ぐなよ。
今度の練習試合の日向のポジションをどうしようかと思ってさお前どう思う
Man, to have to reanimate a new intermission every single episode, that's tiring as an animator.
で練習試合のポジションだけどこれでいこうと思う影山と日向はセットで使いたいし
セット
月島は
Like a pair.
数少ない長身選手だ正常相手にどれくらい戦えるか見たい
1年俺だけ外れた
っていうか、でかさが重要なポジションに日向っすか。
は
That's because he's gonna be the ace.
ああ、ちょっとポジションをおさらいしていい？セッター。
Seta.
スパイクのためのトスを上げ、攻撃を組み立てる。
This is a cool scene and explains to all the new players who aren't familiar with the game. This is a cool pose here. So what, I think that's Daichi, passing wise. You see how his thumbs are parallel? So when you put your platform out, you can actually have an open platform. I don't know if you guys can see it like that. You know, you'll see a lot of beach players do this. But I prefer to have my thumbs lined up so my platform doesn't slip. When it slips, you see how it kind of misshapes the platform and the ball can bounce in random places. And I can't touch my elbows, but if you could touch your elbows, that's like half the success right there. It makes passing so much easier. Otherwise, for the rest of us who can't, we got to pass it perfectly on our wrists where it starts to connect. Middle blocker. Oh, that would totally buy. I was trying to kiss up to him.
ちょっとあんまプレッシャーかけんなよ。
That's right. Don't impose your own expectations on other people unless you're a coach.
もともとでかいやつと比べたらジャンプのてっぺんに到達するまでの時間がかかるだろ。
はい。だから日向がブロックで重点を置くのは。
So I'm going to explain that. You might be looking at this illustration as like, well, why not? He can touch the same height as Suki. So let's fast forward and pause it. And this is the case when I used to be able to jump higher. I used to be able to touch the same height as some of my other teammates who were taller. But the advantage they have of being taller is that it takes less time for them to get off the ground. So you see how he only has to jump maybe half a meter, whereas here Hinata has to jump a full meter. So it takes more time, which means it's harder to time. And the nice thing about being tall is that you can block multiple times in a single situation. So let's say if Suki gets faked out because he doesn't jump as high and he's taller, he falls back to the ground faster so he can go and block another time when the ball's set. Whereas someone like Hinata, who's very dependent on his jumping ability to reach maximum height or to reach the same height to block, he has to fully commit to the block and he has to be right. Because if he's wrong, he's screwed. There's no way he can recover. Once it gets faked out, he's still on the way down and then the set is already going in another direction. So even if you touch the same height as someone else, you know, height does help a lot, especially for the middle position. So not to say that you can't be a successful short middle, but that's one of the few positions where I believe height does give you an edge. Sometimes you just gotta do it in the game. That's right, the attempt of trying to do it is the most important step. That's what happens when you put too much pressure on somebody.
Oh, Michimiya. Nani?
明日正常と試合するんだって？よく組めたね。
うん。武田先生が頑張ってくれてさ。
でも怖くない？正常って確か去年も県でベスト4だったよね。コテンパンにされちゃうかもってさ。
実は結構面白い1年が入ってきてさ。
あ、知ってる。
Man, I would hate that. I remember when I was in high school, we'd say, oh, we're going to play this team or that team, like De La Salle. But whenever we say we play this team, my friends would go, oh, you guys are going to get crushed. I'm like, dude, what type of friend are you? But they're just being honest, and I don't think they know what it's like to be a competitor and to be on the receiving end of those comments. But I hated it when people would say that. Even now as an adult, when we were at USA Nationals last year, and we're obviously the shortest team, and some people would say, oh, you guys are great, you guys are going to do well. Other people would say, I know you guys are good, but in the men's AA division, you're going to need a little more height to succeed. And we ended up doing really well. I think we finished top third. I think we finished like 12th or 13th out of 30-something teams. So we did pretty well for our first time in the men's AA division and being the shortest team out there. One thing I've learned about doubters is that they just don't know what it takes to be great at something. And so when they don't understand something, they impose that lack of understanding on other people. So don't let the doubters bring you down with those comments. Everyone remembers that toupee incident.
まだまだ未完成なんだけどさ、あいつらが機能すればカラスノは爆発的に進化するんじゃないかって思うんだよね。
That's great foresight to see the potential in those two.
構わないよ。あっさ。失礼します。おお。そんなに驚くようなもんか？普通の部室だろ。俺、部室とか初めてなんです。
Yeah, it's his first team room.
小さな巨人もここ使ってたんですよね。
いよいよ明日デビュー戦じゃないか。
Of course, got a poster with girls.
練習試合だけどよ。正常の体育館はでっかいぞ。選手もみんなでかいからビビんなよ。チッス。
おっす。
チャース。
ビビるわけないじゃないですか。絶対すんげえ大活躍して。
ひなたよ。
I have a feeling he's going to crack so hard under pressure and just play awfully.
影山、明日ひなた大丈夫か？大丈夫って。ひなた、これまでの試合経験で中学のあの試合だけで
He's getting too amped.
すんげえ強いと思うんだよね。だから相当緊張してんじゃないかって。緊張くらい誰だってするんじゃない？ああ、ほらもうお前のその感じ、小心者の緊張なめてる。俺が何言ってもプレッシャーになるみたいでさ。ひなた、部室の鍵だけどさ。大丈夫です。持ってきます。置き場所教えてなかったから持ってきたんだけど。すみません、すみません、すみません、すみません、すみません、すみません。最初のうちは仕方ないんじゃないですか。
That's the beauty of first years. In the US, we call them freshmen. Just that raw, excited energy. It's really enjoyable to observe.
チームメイトが揃ってるコートに立てるんだ。ちゃんと最後まで出たい。ヘマしちゃダメだ。ヘマしちゃダメだ。ヘマしちゃダメだ。
That's the worst thing you can do when you're trying to handle pressure is try to think about what not to do. Like if you're on the service line, if you think, don't miss my serve, don't miss my serve, you're absolutely going to miss your serve. Instead of trying to think about what not to do, you should think about trying to do something. So if I'm on the service line, instead of thinking don't hit into the net, I'm maybe going to think about toss in front, or freeze to my target, right? Find actionable things you can do, and that will help take the pressure off, because then I can do something about it. If you worry about not doing something, you're just waiting for the bad incident to happen to you.
小さくて見えなかった。
おい影山、お前日向にいつもの余計な一言で無駄にプレッシャーかけんなよ。余計な一言。
Baiting. What's baiting?
そんなこと俺言ったことあるか？
Like tricking him?
全然心当たりがない。ひなた！下それ俺のジャージだよ。
何やってんのよ田中。変だ。バカじゃないの最低。
Yep. Sometimes that's still me before a big game because I'm just so excited to play. Oh, is that little Hinata? So fitting that he's got the ab roller and the dumbbell and a mat in his room. Hey, that's a Pocky stick. If you guys ever want a delicious light snack, get those at your local Japanese store. Poor guy. Here are my initial reactions to episode 5. Seeing Hinata get his first real team experience really brought back some great memories when I first got my team jersey. Went to McDonald's with the team before games, which I do not recommend. Going to our team locker before and after games, and just felt a sense of belonging. I think that's why we all enjoy team sports so much, because there's a powerful sense of belonging that's innate in all of us, and the experience of working together to accomplish a greater goal that you could not achieve by yourself is very gratifying. Even as a 35-year-old adult, I still get excited about competition to the point where I cannot sleep. I still feel like a kid sometimes, which I'm very grateful for, because playing and coaching volleyball is still very exciting and thrilling for me, as I'm sure it is for you. I'm still not a fan of Tsuki, but it was cool to see him get more serious and competitive to the point where he even took off his sweater, and he got faked out by Kageyama, which I'm sure was a humbling experience for him, but he's too cool to admit that. I'm still curious why they don't have a volleyball coach, or if some teams just operate as a club where they're run by students in Japan. I do feel nervous for Hinata because this is his first real game, and not only that, it's a big game against a big opponent. So I'm pretty sure he's going to struggle badly, because every great player I've known had to go through these type of growing pains where they crack under pressure, fail miserably, try too hard, and break down as a result of that. But this is an absolutely necessary experience to go through in order to grow. Even though I've been coaching for over 13 years and I've coached over 30 teams, it's still hard for me to watch a player go through that experience, even though I know they have to learn the hard way sometimes. My job as a coach is to be there with them during the struggle, let them know that this is all part of the growing process, and if they want to be a great player someday, they just have to keep pushing through and keep working, and ultimately challenge them to grow. I guess it's like a parent where they know their kid has to make some mistakes in order to learn, and you just have to be there for them when they do fall. I'm excited to watch the next episode because this is their first real competition as a team. But I'm also nervous because I'm pretty sure Hinata's going to have a bad game, which is something that he just needs to go through as a young, talented player. Now it's time to recognize the new Patreon members. Wet Tricks, Will, Christina Pagan, David Kuzminski, Victra, Irene, Tanya Tran, Ethan Herr, Chris Yaj, and Patrick. Welcome to the Elevate Yourself Patreon community. Thank you so much for your support, and I look forward to hanging out with you and providing some exclusive content on our Patreon page. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.